Here we're back with 21st Century Music Theory. Today, let's talk about what it means to have good time or good timing.
Yeah, so this is our ability to sustain rhythmic concentration and generate rhythm, including beats and subdivisions for the duration of whatever is required, with exact precision and as long as any piece requires it of us, no matter how we feel. So just as an example, let's say we have a recording session at 5 in the morning, or you have a concert at 9 p.m. and you've got a cold. How is your time, Mikhail?
My time doesn't begin to happen until about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, so in that
good.
particular case, no matter what's required, we got to figure out a way. And so to have good time means we practice for the worst case scenarios, get to the point where we can generate independent time. So we're creating vibration, and to do this we must improve our coordination with our instrument and attach notes in a string of beats and subdivisions as demanded by any piece or by any genre or style of music. If we're used to a conductor, or we're used to having somebody do the accompaniment or play the drums, and they provide the time for us, then we've got to learn to go ahead and develop our own independent sense of time, so we're not relying on somebody else.
Definitely.
Well, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's important. Developing that inner metronome.
Yeah.
Is a good thing to have.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to show some tips for this, because as we say in the business, there's a couple of things you can't mix: time and intonation. I mean, you can actually do it, but it takes a lot of time. So let's go ahead and work on this.
All right, let's start with a keyboard or a drum, an actual drum, and let's lock into the beat.
In our regular daily regiment, we might also play a drum or anything just to get our hands and our bodies moving to the beat. And then as we get faster, we can either set the beat up or we'll start practicing subdivision. So let's imagine the beat is going. And if you get to the point where your time is really precise, you will be locked on. You won't even hear the metronome because you're locked on. And that's the kind of coordination we're trying to build. Next, we practice dividing each beat into 2, 3, or 4 equal subdivisions, and include this in our daily ritual until it becomes automatic. Later on, we'll move this over onto our instrument. When we practice good time, we can later on apply it to virtually any instrument. Here we go. Let's start with eighth notes, dividing a beat into 2 pieces. Three subdivisions. Four subdivisions.
Later on, we can try to mix them up.
Okay, so then we move it over on to our instrument. Always practicing with the metronome, so I might start out with the eighth notes. I might practice all my scales, 2 octaves, practice them, legislate them. I might practice triplets. 16th notes. Then I might practice bass lines. practice adding chords onto that. Then I can practice all different styles of music, whether it's classical, whether it's, folk or whatever it is. And I try to lock to the time, so I want to start by getting the subdivision. In this case, this isn't the tempo I want, but I'm going to roll with it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So whatever I'm practicing, whatever accompaniment patterns, I just want to go ahead and practice again to try to work on getting my time as solid as I possibly can. Finally, for more complicated rhythms and rhythmic patterns, we must lock on to the very critical subdivisions, practice them over and over until they become automatic. The most important thing, though, however, for us as musicians is to remember we can use our body, we can use our voices to create vibrations in time and to practice that coordination. Dancing, anything that we do. Let's just give an example, all right?
All right, tune up my cello.
There are more rhythms, more meters, and certainly more variations when you improve your sense of time. Just remember, try to master playing to the beat with a metronome. Then playing subdivisions first in common time. It will make playing music in other meters and subdivisions so much easier later. And then practicing needed patterns and musical motifs on your instrument, always locked to the beat and to the subdivision.
Remember too, you can always set the metronome to the subdivision until your rhythm becomes automatic.
Yeah, did you guys get this?
You must be joking. I was born with good time. Just look at this impeccable Swiss watch.
Ha, now who's the dummy, huh? They mean we have the regiment moving with the beat, generating vibrations and practicing rhythmic patterns to a metronome for durations of time or until our coordination improves, not just have a nice watch.
Oh, I knew that.
So what we're saying is to develop good time, sustain rhythmic energy for the duration of the piece, or be able to sustain our music making with the precision needed for as long as the piece of music requires, including the best, subdivisions, and the energy.
We should regimen playing with a beat as a rhythmic warm-up and always to a metronome.
We should start with common time and subdivisions of 2, 3, or 4, but then evolve to other meters and subdivisions common to our musical interests.
And we might add, we should eventually make our work fun and enjoyable, doing music and exercises we love, so that we can simultaneously be learning new music and having fun.
And developing good time. You really thought good time was a watch?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I did not.
Yeah, right.
No, I didn't.